Well, Andrew, it's a pleasure to meet you, and thanks for inviting us to one of your special gardens. Tell us about what we're going to see today.
This garden, as you said, is special because it's one that the client really wants to participate in, be part of, and have their own stamp on it at the weekends when they plant out.
Because on contemporary homes, sometimes it's all about hard surfaces.
Absolutely.
This is a very contemporary home and it's stunning.
Yes.
But you've actually really been true to giving them the garden.
Absolutely. And in this case, they were asking for more plants, where most clients are actually asking for less plants these days. So it was a refreshing change.
Well, it sounds exciting.
Yep.
Tell us about Andrew Whyte Landscapes and what services you offer.
So we're basically a landscape design company, and so we've got landscape architects in the office. Then once we've finished that design, then we can go out and as registered builders, then we organise the building of it, whatever aspect it entails.
Well, I can't wait to see this one. Will you take me through?
Pleasure.
Let's do it. This space really is a beautiful extension off the home. Tell us about your design philosophy for this area.
It really starts with the tree. The tree was the pivot point. Everything had to come around it. Everything had to be looked after for the tree. So hence the reason we came off at this point here, kept the rectangle area in harmony with what's going on there. But when we came across here, the circles began across there to look after the tree.
And a lot of designers may have looked at this space and been, I guess, tempted to pave it.
Yep.
Because it's an extension of the entertaining area. What's the reason you actually use lawn?
It was actually the client. The client actually wanted a garden, and they wanted a garden that they could participate in. So they said, give us as much lawn as you can that will grow underneath the trees, and we'd want that for entertainment value rather than a paving. Because they want to get into the gardening, they want to spend their weekends in here, which is unusual these days, but it's beautiful to hear.
Yeah.
And that's why this is all about a garden that they can actually sit in.
The other thing I really love about the lawn is the lawn actually creates different zones by the way you've edged the lawn. Tell us about, I guess, the separate zone down the back with the bench seat.
Yep. And
the reason behind that really quirky but very effective circle.
Again, back to the client. The client's wishes were give as much lawn as you possibly can. So the idea was to stretch it down into this area, and they do have several guests that come around, so they said they needed somewhere they could bleed 20 or 30 guests out and have some privacy so you're not all clustered into one area. So we actually developed the bench seat down the bottom so that we could actually invite people to walk down there and spend some of the time down there. So you have, 6 or 10 people down there hovering around, and the rest can mingle up in this section through here and then through into the house.
And the use of water, you've actually put the water features, there's 2 of them.
Yes.
They're towards the street. Is there a reason for that as well?
Yeah, it's basically that white noise effect. So we're trying to actually drown out some of the traffic that's coming by putting a water feature for aesthetics reasons, obviously. But yes, the sound just washes away as much as possible the car sounds.
And you've got the main living hub of the house there with the family room. Beyond that, there's an internal light well courtyard, which looks absolutely stunning. Tell us about that.
It's a company called Lump, and they've got these amazing screens that you can put into the backdrop there. So it really was about looking at what we're going to see in such a tall fence with a tall building next door. So we screened it off to give it that backdrop, and with very simple planting in front of it and uplighting as well. At night time, it really comes into its own.
We're standing in some really good sort of northeastern light at the moment.
Yes.
But there's a Jacaranda there that's going to potentially take some of that away.
Yeah.
What's the reason for that?
Carefully chosen. Across here, they're actually going to knock down this building across here, and what they're going to do is put a whole bunch of apartments. We knew this in advance, so we said, right, let's plant a tree that in 3 years' time when those buildings go up, you've got something to help soften them out without being too dense. Going to drop a lot of foliage. But the Jacarandas have got a beautiful backdrop, that whole blue flower at Christmas. Gorgeous.
So I guess from a designer's point of view, you've actually been thinking years in advance, not just for the now, which is a really clever thing to do and a good reason to get a professional in.
Yes, it is indeed.
It's an interesting way of using space, but you've absolutely nailed it as a design from a garden point of view, and it is a garden.
Yes.
It's a beautiful garden, and it complements the home well, and it's a fantastic job, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.